Let me ask you something. Which YouTube community hasn't told themselves how much they missed a certain time of their favorite YouTuber? Or at least been nostalgic about them? Short answer, none. Long answer, none. Get it? You see, before I even start talking about why I enjoyed Dashie the most during this time, it's important for me to establish that I'm not here to say that he was better back then or make comparisons to now. I mean, some YouTubers even acknowledge this.
That's hokey, and old JonTron was better.
I'm not gonna sit here like a boomer and say, oh, back in 2015, Dashie was way funnier and got all the put. This is just me analyzing why I enjoyed him most during this time and explaining it. And besides, no one is at their peak forever, it's just human nature. And if you watched my Why I Love Dashie video, which don't watch it by the way, it's terrible, you'd know that I've acknowledged how Dashie hasn't really changed at all. He's always been himself, and when people think Dashie was at his best, it's completely subjective. So feel free to tell me down in the comments when you enjoyed him the most. This is just a guy who has watched him for 5 years now talking about why he particularly enjoyed these 2 years the most. Alright, so cool. Before we get started on anything, we have to acknowledge what YouTube was like in 2015 through 2016. You see, it wasn't as regulated with all this demonetization bullshit, and some people might even remember the dark ages where Dashie would unfortunately have to censor himself. It was a much less confined time, and not only was Dashie free to swear, but he also could play a lot of games without having to worry about this copyright nonsense. Mortal Kombat, Geometry Dash, Until Dawn, etc. All these games where nowadays you'd have to worry about playing them because they're not advertisement friendly or have some sort of song that can be copyrighted. It's the reason Dashie hasn't been playing those games now, and I don't blame the guy really. I mean, this is his fucking job after all. I mean, there's no fucking reason to play a fucking game where you have to fucking watch all these fucking guts and shit spread all over your fucking screen while worrying about how many fucking swear words you say. Okay. Point is, Dashie was free to release his full potential, and it was really entertaining to see his true self without YouTube regulation numbing it down. So as I've said before, my first ever Dashie video was his SNES fighting video, so let's start by analyzing that one. And to be even more immersed, let's just assume I'm someone who just started watching Dashie, because it'll help show why someone would become a fan of his. Play the video!
Yo, I got the instincts of a killer. Motherfucker, this ain't no thriller. Sister the Michael, I'm a psycho.
Alright, so immediately we see Dashie has grown accustomed to the YouTube meta, where he takes one of the funniest or most interesting parts of the video and puts it right at the beginning. This is what is known as the hook, and I think it's cool how YouTubers still use this to this day. I was actually going to do this myself in this video, but then I remembered I'm not funny or interesting. Anyway, so you get through that part and you're like, okay, that was pretty funny. And immediately he hits you with this. And you're like, alright, Jesus, I'm awake, you handsome fuck. This intro will be ingrained in your memory if you keep watching this man, because it hasn't really changed. You guys have no idea how many times I fucking said, "What up? It's Dashie!" to the expense of people looking at me like they need to call the police. It just gets you hype, and it establishes what Dashie's videos are all about. High energy, high volume, high entertainment. But since I'm role-playing as a guy who just started watching Dashie, my first reaction was, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Like, what could you possibly be doing that's so exciting that you have to yell at the top of your lungs? And here's where Dashie gets you hooked, because if a grown-ass man is yelling at a SNES game screen, then you're at least a little curious on why he might be doing that, right? Or you can just click off the video and assume he's just gone insane, but we ain't doing that here! And it literally takes like 5 minutes of watching this guy to find out that he has a weird-ass sense of humor, and that it's really absurd. Like, just watch all these moments in this video, and you will quickly learn what Dashie is all about.
No, I did not change the difficulty. Your boy is that good. What? Yes, bitch! Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. Oh, we at a mall, bitch. Hold on, after this, I'm about to go to Macy's. Listen. I just had to let you know that in the year 3023, it will be the end of Earth, because that's when the mixtape drops it. Hold on, my shit's falling.
So after you watch the video, you're like, alright my boy, that was a funny ass video, great job. Now I'm gonna go watch something else. Which I'm not gonna lie to y'all, that's what I did. At first I didn't keep watching Dashie, but then I kept getting him recommended. So I succumbed to those capital texts and that pretty AF face eventually. So after watching this man play all these games and all these series, you start to learn about all the inside jokes he has. You learn that this is not his first YouTube channel and he has another one with some great content. You learn about the skits, the animations, the ghetto chef, all this great content, and how he's starting to make his own gags in the games that he plays. His extreme hatred of donkey bitch ass, triple shits, original recipe, fucking spelling oranges wrong? You start to fall in love with this guy who initially seemed crazy, and it's addicting to just watch his videos because you know they're gonna be entertaining. Also, before I continue, can I just say how much I miss Dashie's old setup? Like, you can't tell me that this shit doesn't look like it'd be cozy as hell. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind him using the green screen or whatever, but just look at this, man. The lighting makes it look warm, and obviously to someone who's been watching him for a long time, it's weirdly nostalgic. I don't know, that might just be me, but I seriously miss this setup. Anyway, so you've watched all his videos from this era, and you might be asking me, okay, great, you piece of shit. Dashie got to play games without YouTube regulations. I'm sure he'd be doing it now if he could. How is this any different from what he is now? What's your point here? Well, my friend, there were two things that I think contributed to me enjoying Dashie even more back then. He was making more skits, which is always great. That's number one. Number two, Hanging with Dashie still existed, which I definitely think is an underrated series. Go check it out. In fact, let's check it out right now. So, Hanging with Dashie was a series that is literally what it sounds like. Dashie records himself with friends and you hang out with him. You could say it was like a vlog series, but there was something unique about it. For one, it's actually hilarious and well edited. And I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure he was still living in Florida during this. And if you know anything about that state, well, you can only imagine what kind of hijinks would ensue. But how would this influence his gameplay videos? Well, I think it's because he was hanging out a lot with the homie Sport, who is quite the character himself. Seriously, if you think Dashie is crazy, then Sport is batshit insane. This guy will just say some shit that you are not ready for, and has some of the loudest screams I've ever heard echo from a mouth hole.
Oh shit!
And the chemistry he has with Dashie is like a match made in heaven. Just go watch any of the videos that Sport is in, and you will immediately think these guys were like brothers or something. And I really think Sport made Dashie funnier, not just in the videos he's with him, but the other ones where he isn't with him. Once again, disclaimer, this is not shitting on the Dashie of today. This is simply me explaining why I found him more entertaining back then than now. Like I've said in a previous video, I'll always continue supporting your boy no matter what. A lot of humor comes from the people you interact with or what you watch. Think about it. There's always something that you might find funny with someone, but other people might not find as funny, you know? And as much as I'd love for Hanging with Dashie to come back, it probably won't. Not only because of this pandemic shit going on right now, but Sport is also a father now, and y'all know how that is. Family always comes first. But please prove me wrong, Dashie. Sport hasn't really appeared in any Dashie videos nowadays, but that's fine. Different locations, different lifestyles. I'm sure they stay in touch. Which, by the way, guys, some people assume Dashie is a loner, which is really dumb. The guy doesn't share his private life, nor does he need to. I'm sure he has a girlfriend, and she is a very happy woman. Plus, he has millions of people that support him, so it's highly doubtful that he is ever truly lonely. Hell, I only have a few hundred fans right now, and they don't make me feel lonely. Love y'all sexy bitches. Anyways, the point is, I think Sport contributed to Dashie's sense of humor, as well as a lot of his friends. The homie Joey, the homie Shadow. All these lovely people meshed so nicely with Dash, and some even reminded you that he was just like one of us because a few he met when he worked an everyday job. And here's where all my reasoning is probably going to fall flat for why I loved 2015 through 2016. Dashie, because I can't really explain exactly how he was funnier back then. I mean, all these people he talked to did contribute to his humor, but I don't know what else. He just seemed to have more wit and energy back then. Just go watch one of his early Geometry Dash videos and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just a different vibe from what he is now, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Man just grew up, and uploading every goddamn day is stressful. It's very easy to get burned out when making videos, and hell, he sometimes even sacrificed his voice to entertain us. And I'm not joking, by the way, there were literally times where he would make a video with a sore ass throat and telling us how his doctor recommended to not yell anymore. But he pushed through it because he loved us. And he still loves us. Now he's more mellowed out and it's fine, it's for the sake of his health. Something I wish he'd do more though are voting polls. Now that would be something. I want to hear my boy say, "It's about us" again. And even if he doesn't, I'll always keep watching him. Dashie's videos tend to be more longer than what they were back then. But whether it's about quality or quantity on what he does now is completely up to you and what you think of it. Because a reason a ton of people, myself included, watch his videos is because we just need to laugh. We need something in our shitty day to make it brighter. And Dashie is exactly that hero who will do the job. And do it well. So yeah, that's why I liked Dashie 2015 through 2016 the most. I don't really know how to end this video. I don't want to rip off Dashie again, so I have a deeper guard for you all. Don't holla at your boy. Affirmative!